morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, man, not a problem. We really love it. And this morning, I have with me my co-host Courtney and our guest out of Trinidad, a man who is many, many things, wear many, many hats. You know, many, many hats. He is a teacher, uh, he's assistant dean, he's into the music, but he will tell us all about that. He's into management, he's into art, doing an art exhibition. As we can see, a man with many, many, many hats. So we welcome you this morning to the Real Stuff podcast. Very, very good to have you. Very good to have you.
The privilege is mine to be on your show. Thank you so very much for having me.
Yes. So Courtney, you want to start out, please?
Okay, good morning to our viewers and listeners of the Real Stuff podcast. We have as our guest today, NERUKHI. His real name, Ato Osei. Am I pronouncing that right?
That's Osei.
Osei. Okay.
Osei.
A.k.a. also known as NERUKHI.
That's right. So we could stick with the NERUKHI.
Yes, so we'll stick with the NERUKHI. So today, NERUKHI, just tell our listeners and viewers who you are and and who is NERUKHI really.
All right. So, well, as your co-host said, a man of many hats. I have been involved in the quote-unquote consciousness movement from about 50 years back, right? A little bit more than that. Got a little bit involved in politics many, many years ago. So that more or less opened up my eyes to a lot of what is happening on the international scene that many people might not really be aware of. All right. I'm also a retired school teacher and dean. That was a very, very, very interesting part of my life, because I always wanted to interact with young people in a meaningful way. And I always dreamt myself teaching. And I also had a great passion for art. So the two of them actually came together. So I was an art teacher for quite a number of years. And being a dean, it gave me that opportunity to interact with young people and be a mentor to quite a lot of them. I also have been traveling a spiritual road for quite a number of years, so I have interacted with the Yoruba culture. I've been a student of yoga, meditation, Tai Chi. I have been involved with the Kemetic spiritual tradition, and quite recently, that was some months ago, I basically got a deeper initiation into my indigenous culture, and it has helped me to really understand quite a lot more about me and the things that I've been doing. And it happened so peculiarly because I was running this radio show and I was interviewing someone who is very much into the indigenous culture. That's Shaman Raoul Simon. Very, very, very hard worker in that particular area. And he introduced me to another gentleman, another brother by the name of Roger Bilik. So we were chatting, and I was sharing with him how the enlightenment about indigenous culture had struck a nerve within me, because it helped me to understand why I have this great passion for nature. You know, as you can see in my art, I just love to paint nature, and apart from that, I'm also a musician. I have my own home studio. That's where we're having this session here today. And people always say, but Rookie, your music is different. you know, um, you, they try to figure out what it was. They tried to ask me, well, why are you so much into this nature? Why this love for nature? And it was only when I recognized that within my DNA, there's this indigenous side of me, a side of me that calling for that connectivity with nature and the universe. So see, so it comes out into my music, into my art. So I'm a singer, a songwriter. I've done work within the Calypso fraternity. I was a former PRO of the South Zone of the Calypsonian organization. So I've been doing a lot of things. And here I am with the real stuff.
Oh yes, oh yes. And it's very, very good to have you, out of Trinidad. Obviously, your work in the schools must have been really exemplary. As I see you are voted Teacher of the Year
Oh
in
yes, yes.
2005.
Yes,
And you are
that was
Guild President.
beg your pardon?
No, I see you also was Guild President.
Yes, yes.
So you made your mark on that side.
Yes, that was a very, very interesting period of my life. We we grow up, and we look back on certain periods of our lives, and very often we look back at our school days, and we we often comment that we missed out on enjoying our time at school, because we were so caught up with all the stress of assignments and all the rest. And as an adult, I always felt that if I really had a chance to go back to school, I would really try to enjoy it more than anything else. So some years ago, I did some teacher training, and I realized, hey, I have the opportunity now to be back as a student, back in school, and I have the opportunity to enjoy it. And they, they, they elected me as president of the Student Teachers Guild, because we were teachers that were studying. And I transferred that into not just making the time there enjoyable for me, but enjoyable for everyone else, and it was a very, very interesting and beautiful time. It was the first time that I think the student body had that connectivity with the staff, so I think they they decided that I would be Teacher of the Year more for my social contribution. It wasn't that there weren't other people that performed academically better than me, but that was not my focus. My focus is for us to basically to enjoy what we're doing, because it is when we enjoy what we're doing is when we get the best out of it, and that would translate into how we interact with the students in the classroom. If we're not enjoying what we're doing, they're not going to enjoy what we're doing either. So Yes, that's how. That's a little bit about that period of my life as a teacher and teacher of the year.
Okay, NERUKHI.
I'm very fascinated about you. Okay, go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, we see that you are involved in Calypso, but there's also that you do Rapso.
Yes, yes.
And we'd like to get a piece, but before we get a piece of your Rapso, can you just explain to our listeners and viewers what is Rapso?
All right. So, well, a lot of people familiar with rap, um, U.S. U.S. rap, okay, and you know, it's just like poetry expresses itself in different parts of the world and different cultures, you know. So it's not so much about the sweetness of your voice, but it's the ability to bring that poetic message in a manner that would carry what you want the listener to hear. All right. Rapso in Trinidad is what we call part of the oral tradition, you know, and it was made popular by people like the great Lancelot Lane, um, one of the pioneers of the Rapso movement. And we also had a lot of work being done by the late brother Lutalo Masimba, known as Brother Resistance, who was a former president of the Calypsonians organization as well. You know, so it is very much a part of the local musical landscape. However, it is not as popular as calypso or soca, you know, but it is a very, very powerful medium of expression, you know, and it is used by a number of artists, either almost exclusively or as part of some project that they're doing. So you might have a calypso with a little bit of rap so in it, you know, in that sense.
Yeah, so just give us a Rapso piece.
All right, you want me to give you a piece?
Yeah.
All right, so just give me 1 second and let me cue it up, right?
Yeah, today we just want to let our listeners and viewers know that we usually have a poetry corner on a Friday, but we are also involved in the creative arts. And today we have NERUKHI, who is a fine artist, a Calypsonian, a Rapso performer, and he's gonna do a Rapso piece for us to continue this art form and to let this art form be known, you know, globally. So we are just waiting on him to cue up his Rapso piece, and you know, you can just look and enjoy his fine artwork, his work, you know, that he has presented. You can see a bridge, you can see native trees and grass in the lake around, you know, a whole things involved in nature. So go ahead, NERUKHI.
You're hearing me, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
International job coming for you. Make up your mind what you're going to do. Money coming and it coming and it knocking on your door. If you want job, wanna get you more. You dirty up the place from bottom to the top. You jobbing and you just won't stop. If you think that you're bright and you don't want to hear, job, man, going to give you a scare. The international job, ruling the world. The international job, want to maintain control. Yeah. The international job, knocking on your door. Yeah. The international job, rolling on the floor. Make up your mind, you got to take a stand against the dirty job, man. Listen, the word that the your things are hidden. I tell you that the job bring. Check out your history and you will see all over the world is calamity. Anywhere this job go is trouble. Oh, we survive is a miracle. The international ruling the world. The international job want to maintain control, yeah. The international job knocking on your door. The international ruling on your door. Yeah, so that's just a little piece of international job. And let me just tell you a little bit about the piece. 1 second. Yeah, so the piece is done in a style known as double entendre, where you sing on or you address more than one topic at the same time. You know, and it's something that would have been developed way back in history when we needed to get certain messages out to the mass of people without the slave master or whoever it was then at the time understanding what it is we were saying to the people, right? So they would think that you're singing about one thing when in truth and in fact you're singing about something else, right? So it's like two messages merging together in one song. It's called double entendre. It's very popular in Calypso, and so I've utilized it in this Rhapsody piece, International Jab. So it looks at one of our traditional carnival characters, the Jab. You know, a lot of people familiar with the Jab music now. But it also subliminally addresses the issue of the other job, right? And some of the challenges and the unanswered questions and so on associated with that. You know, so that is that piece, International Jab.
Okay, go ahead, Flavius, back to you. Yeah, Flavius, are you there? Okay, while we're here, NERUKHI, can you give me a little piece of My Name is Calypso? And, you know, talk about it a little bit before you go ahead.
All right, so my Name is Calypso is a piece I did some years ago, and it speaks about the challenges faced by the art form of Calypso right here in its own land, okay, and the challenges faced by the practitioners of the art form. Now, a lot of people may not be aware that a lot of the music and the expressions that came from the diaspora, and a lot of the music and a lot of the expressions that have come from the indigenous people who lived here for thousands of years and are still here were suppressed by the colonial authorities. So for instance, the steel pan was considered a noisy instrument, you know, and you know it was outlawed. You know, you had to get permission to play that instrument, just like the normal hand drum, you know. And so too, we found that because Calypso was an art form that was expressing the true feelings of the people. It was like liberation music for the people. You know, it's like what Bob Marley's music did to a lot of people, liberate the minds of the people. And Calypso, Calypso has that power. Was also a medium of historical record. So, for instance, you could go back and listen to some of the calypsos from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and will actually be telling you about some of the events that took place then. You know, so as a powerful art form, it was suppressed and it was treated with disrespect. The practitioners of the art form was treated with disrespect as well. Up to today. Yeah. So my name is Calypso is really talking about that, you know, and it's really talking about us as a people, and our true identity that also is not respected, you know, and in some cases not respected by us. You know, it's all well and good for us to act like other people, but when we begin to act like us, when we begin to embrace our true identity, when we begin to practice our culture, when we begin to express our arts the way they're supposed to be expressed, you know, it poses a problem, you know. And I really want to say this because we have a grave misunderstanding of what culture really is, you know, and because of that, you find people could tell you, could define what it is for you and send you down a wrong road. Because culture really comes from the concept of cultivating. You know, a farmer would cultivate his seeds and his plants to bring beautiful fruit to nourish the society. So your culture would be that which nourishes the society, all right? And the arts would be that subliminal, that subtle means by which the values of your culture is expressed. You see, so we need to understand that the arts is really an expression of a culture that's supposed to lift us and build us. So if we find that the arts and the music are not doing that, if we find that the arts and the music are doing the opposite of that, then it means that your culture is really going the wrong direction, you know? So I just wanted to make that point. Let me just do, my name is Calypso for you because it was originally sung, but I'm gonna do it as a spoken word piece here for you now.
Okay.
From the days at the plantation, I was the voice of the nation. From the barrack yard, when things were hard, the lone voice of sanity in your yard. I took your name international, making your style more professional. I brand your name. I brought you fame. Still, you despise me all the same. Every town and city, every university, everyone came to know who you are, where you are. And I did it all for free. After all that I do for my country, you still want to push me around. After all that I do for my country, why do you look at me with a frown? After all that I do for my country to put everyone on the map with my blood, my sweat and my tears. I've taken blows through the years. But from you, I don't deserve a slap. No, no, no. I deserve better than that. My name is Calypso. So that's a little bit of that piece. My name is Calypso. So it shows the versatility of the arts, because very often I perform it in song, and very often I also perform it as a spoken word piece.
Yeah, salute, man. This one is a bombshell.
Yeah, I'm very interested in your artwork.
Yes.
So you're an artist and you have exhibitions and all of that.
That's right. That's right.
Bring us into that space, please.
All right. So well, I have been an art teacher for probably more than 20 years. Okay. And I've had about five solo exhibitions over the years. The last solo exhibition was at the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago lobby. That was 2 years ago, and it was a very, 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 very interesting experience, because prior to that, even though I had been doing quite a lot of work, a lot of people were not familiar with NERUKHI, the artist. And one of the reasons for that is because getting involved into music performance and production, it took a lot of time from me, and the art basically went on the back burner. And when I stepped away a little bit from the music management, it gave the art, a chance to breathe. So that exhibition happened. Like I said, that was 2 years ago, and it had a lot of impact. And especially when an artist exhibits at one of the most prestigious sites in the country, and Central Bank is that one of the most prestigious sites that an artist can exhibit his or her work. Subsequent to that, I had planned to do an exhibition in our sister Isle of Tobago, and everything was in train for that. And then our good friend, Mr. COVID, struck, and everything changed. So right now I am working on having an exhibition sometime around June. June is my birthday, actually. So I'm hoping to have that exhibition around that time. But that exhibition is going to be an exhibition with a difference. Let me just take back the camera a little bit so we could have a little look at some of as you can see there, the size of the pieces, 7 feet up and 4 feet across. Okay, so the reason I decided to go this large, is because over the years, people have been commenting that my artwork has a tendency to take them inside of it. All right, it's almost like you're there. And that's what I set about to do with my art, to bring nature to the people. A lot of people don't appreciate the beauty of nature. They don't appreciate the importance of caring and protecting the environment. So my art speaks to that. My art also addresses the fact that a lot of times people would like to visit certain places, certain beautiful nature sites, For one reason or the other, they just can't go there. All right, either they're not making the time, or because the health doesn't permit them to visit certain places. So what I have decided to do is to bring it to you. So I create artwork that actually invites you in. All right, and I decided to go this size, so it gives a clearer invitation, so you could actually feel that you can actually walk inside the painting, you know. So that's something to look forward to sometime around June. So we're going to have a large exhibition with several of these huge pieces up, you know, and I'm certainly going to keep you all in touch where that is concerned.
I hope you will invite us to that exhibition.
Yes?
So we could show it live.
Well, yes, especially given the environment that we're in now, you know, forces a lot of people who have not been using the technology to start to use it. You know, so definitely we'll be streaming that exhibition live, so that people all over the world can have an opportunity to take it in. You know, and I'm saying that, and I'm also saying that you know, I really want to thank my art supporters, the people who purchase and support my art, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but all over the world, you know, because I've been selling pieces to people in different parts of the world from time to time, you know, and I really want to thank them for that, you know, and this environment that we are in here now provides an opportunity now for not only me, but for a lot of artists now to use the technology to showcase our art, our poetry, our music to an international audience. Yeah.
So among all these art forms that you do, which one do you do most? Or which one do you enjoy most?
Can you repeat that?
No, you have been doing a lot of stuff, calypso, rapso, art, all of that. I'm asking your preference.
That's like asking a man that's practicing polygamy which one of the wives he prefers, and all of them sitting right in front of him. Actually, it's not that. You know, it's that I am open. You know, I live life as, you know, as the Great Spirit presents to me. All right. So, so if I'm guided to do art, to paint, I paint. And, you know, if music comes, because I have a home studio, so apart from doing my music, I also do music for other people. So, you know, if somebody comes to do some music, well, the creative juices just have switched to that, you know, because, you know, creativity is bubbling in all of us, at different levels. And those of us that is bubbling at a very high level, you know, if it can't come out in one way, it will come out in another way, you know. So you find that once we develop the skill to do different things creatively, then you find that you know, it's very easy for that creativity to express itself, and the very same message of enlightenment and upliftment that we try to bring to the society, we can bring it through these different media, you know. So whether it's painting or whether it's music, you know, it's the same thing. We need to make the world a better place. You know, that's the message.
Wonderful.
So to finally answer your question, I love all of them equally.
Okay. Okay, that is wonderful. So do you perform around the Caribbean?
Well, I have performed in Trinidad. I have not performed around the Caribbean. And to be frank with you, there are a lot of artists like myself that have been doing a lot of good music over the years. But for some reason, the and this is not just a Trinidad and Tobago experience. We have a lot of artists. Once you're doing a lot of music that opens the eyes of the people and promotes positive energy, somehow or the other, you don't get that kind of exposure. So even right here in Trinidad, a lot of people are not familiar with me and my music. So sometimes I would go and perform, and the question they would run up to me and say, "But how come we haven't heard about you?" So we have a lot of artists like that. That has been my experience. I do perform in Trinidad. I think with the pandemic, I've more or less withdrawn a little bit, and the regulations has more or less helped with that, and I've started to focus a little more on my art, and studio work, etc., etc.
So
Yeah.
as we're talking about performance and your music and all of that, I see an interesting title that I like, Don't Blame the Children.
Yes.
You could just do that piece for us in a while,
Right. No problem. I'll cue it up and and have it ready. But let me talk a little bit about that song, because there's a tendency for a lot of adults to blame the young people for the negative things that they do. Let me put it like that. A teacher of mine once say, if it is that we're saying that the children are out of hand, then it suggests that at some point in time they were in hand. So who let them out? You see? So, it's like we as adults have a responsibility to guide and mold the children, because they're going to become adults, and what we do with them is going to determine the type of people they become and the type of society they create, right? So if they're not going in a positive direction, the first place that we have to assign blame will be to us as adults, right? Meaning that we haven't been guiding them correctly, or maybe we haven't been guiding them at all. We live in an age of technology where a lot of people they abdicate their parenting to the cell phone. They give the child the cell phone, and well, the child stops crying, but they don't understand that particularly at that age, a lot of values that child is absorbing from all over the place, particularly from people of ill repute, all right? So we have to recognize that as adults, as parents, we have to take responsibility. Our children mirror our behavior a lot of times, particularly the tender ones. They mirror what they see. A child learns to walk because they see the adults and the young people around them walking. If that child was born for whatever reason around a group of animals, let's say deer, for instance, right? And we have heard about situations where children were abandoned in the forest and some animal took care of the child. That child is going to run on all fours because from that age, they imitate what they see. So it is our responsibility to always ensure that we reflect the things that we want to see in our children in our behavior. It makes no sense we condemning the child for doing a certain thing, but we're doing it. You see? So that's the essence of that that piece. Don't blame the children. You know, it talks about our responsibility as adults. So you want me to go and cue it up now and I'll come back shortly?
Yeah, please do.
1 second.
Yeah, so we're here speaking with NERUKHI out of Trinidad, you know, a Calypsonian, a fine arts teacher and practitioner. He also is involved in Calypso and music management. He was one of the members of the planning and executive committee who created the Young Kings competition in Trinidad. He was also a public relations officer of Missionaries Calypso 10, 2013 through to 2015. Public relations officer of TUCO, South Zone and Kaiso Showcase 2016 through 2019. He runs a promotional arts Facebook page titled We Kinda Vibes. So he also, you know, has been doing art exhibitions, you know, in Trinidad, in the House of Creative People 2019. He did an exhibition in Central Bank of Trinidad in February 2020. He also did one in the Rotunda Art Gallery, Parliament Building. And he's here now queuing up a song that is called Don't Blame the Children. And actually we shouldn't be blaming our children when we are parents, because we are the ones who have the responsibility to take care of them, to lead and guide them in the right direction, to help them to and nurture them and grow them in a way that they will become better citizens, you know, to create a, you know, a better society. So this song that he's queuing up for us to do is talking all about this. So go ahead, NERUKHI.
All right. Stop blaming the children. You are responsible for how they grow. To guide them to the future, that's your role. You their tomorrow. You blaming the children. You are responsible for how they grow. To guide them to the future, that's your role. You determine their tomorrow with so much to live for and not too much to die for. The latter seems to dominate. Wrong beliefs and bad intentions, lies and misdirection create a generation full of hate. Stop blaming the children for your own ability. Stop blaming the children. We gotta show more maturity. Stop blaming the children. Be an example to dear. Stop blaming the children. Show them light, show them the way. We got to stop blaming children, yeah. You blaming children, yeah. They were given to you right in your hand to guide them to the future. Who takes the program? Provide justification. You abandon your responsibility. The cell phone is the babysitter. Oftentimes the phone provider is the social media calamity. Stop blaming children for your own inadequacy. Stop blaming children. We're in a state of emergency. Stop blaming children. An example to them every day. Stop blaming the children. Show them light. Show them the way. Stop blaming the children. Guide them, love them, protect them. Stop blaming the children. Teach them, reach them, love them, guide them. Stop blaming the children. Yeah. Don't blame the children. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much, NERUKHI. You know, we have come to the end, and I just get back to Flavius, and he'll just summarize and take us out. Back to you, Flavius.
Thank you very much, NERUKHI. Thank you very much. And we're very happy that you was able to join us today. And we were enlightened by your offerings to us today.
Well, thank you so very much for creating this platform. You know, there's so many creative people. There's so many people that have so much to offer to help to make our society, our Caribbean community, the world community better by the things that we do and the things that we can do, you know. And you know, it's important that people like yourself create this platform so that our voices can be heard. So I really want to thank you all for creating the platform and for having me on your show. Peace and blessings to you.
Well, one thing we'll do now, we will ask your help in getting more of your creatives in Trinidad to come and, you know, and be with us.
Sure, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, we will be checking back with you very soon about that.
Yes, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. That's what we do.
This is a Caribbean podcast, and we want to expose everything Caribbean.
Yes, man.
Everywhere.
Yes.
So we are very glad to have, you know, come up with you, and that know that you can bring some of your colleagues to speak with us and to showcase what they have. So thank you again. So until we speak again, yes.
Yeah, peace and blessings, man.
Yeah, same to you, same to you, NERUKHI.
You lead us to Fula. You belong far away away. Ajuguala Lebabu Seru. Lida Mua, Lida Sungfula. Lida Mua, Lida Sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me do what set me if it could flee. Me I fi take away me say, me I fi take away me